Hello everyone, welcome to Halo Moon Tarot. This is your What's Transforming in Your Love Life reading for Gemini. Oops. Okay, I see someone on a timeout, a break. Someone taking a little, someone's had a little break from dating here, a little timeout. Wow. Okay. This is often good. Sometimes you just need a break to clear your head. But you can see somebody here. Ooh, Gemini. You have somebody coming in here, or it's yourself making a move. This is somebody here who knows the right person will wait till they're ready to ask them out. This is a person just exploring their feelings here. And the Queen of Cups is sitting here. Often waiting for someone to reciprocate. Look at that. It's just coming right out. Yeah. But this is a person letting someone know they're available. Yeah. Someone here is going to reach out. I feel there'll be reciprocity. We got a person here kind of assessing the situation. It's a person moving forward. So this is someone who's, cleared some things out, taken a break, getting out of their head. Yeah, this is about moving forward. This is slow and steady wins the race energy. Now, some of you could have a couple people here with this energy, but it's often just a person, how they're moving. I do think this is an energy of someone who's probably waited a little bit for someone to reach out. There could be a reassessment, but this is about moving forward, looking at a situation, kind of looking to see if the coast is clear, if it's safe. But it's a person who plans, prepares. They're hoping for the best. Yeah. Some of you may have a choice between two. If you have someone who's been moving rather slow, dragging their feet, after a timeout, you may have another person. There may be choices here. But it is about two people coming together, going down this path. Wow. Yeah, possible choices. This is often just a life path choice decision, though, because somebody's looking at the path they've been on. See, they're looking at this path they've been on. They've taken a break. They've assessed a situation. This is someone who often, like I say, they're just kind of looking at every little detail, making sure the coast is clear. They're wanting it to be successful. It's a person who wants to come together. Let's have a look at this timeout. Yeah, someone's ready. This is someone reflecting on past. Now they're ready to take a leap of faith. But because of this is someone looking before they leap. Yeah, it's time to go down a new path. Someone's leaving a situation behind. They're ready to move forward. This is playful, youthful. This is someone here feeling ready. Yeah, see, it's about spending time together, doing things together. This is someone who often reaches out. What are you up to? What have you been doing? Or do you want to get together? But it's an energy of someone looking to see the things you have in common. Compatibility. There's a need to cooperate and compromise here. Yeah, it's always a little compromise. And I do feel with this Queen of Cups, this is someone here who I feel is looking before they leap. And the reason being is because this is someone who's bent over backwards to please somebody. This is someone who's done a lot of cooperating and compromising. So some of you, if there is two, I feel there's someone here you may not reciprocate. You may even have another person. I wouldn't be surprised with this energy. It's feeling very much like that. Because this is someone who's done everything they can to please somebody, to cooperate and compromise. It's now an energy where someone is no longer doing that. Yeah, it's a person who often has been breadcrumbing or dragging their feet, but now we have a new person here. Somebody else is coming in. That's what I feel. So I do think this is the Queen of Cups in that energy. Yeah, so someone being discerning, see, applying lessons learned. See, Gemini, you can only cooperate and compromise so much. I feel like you're reflecting on this path, this person. It's time to go in a different direction. And it is probably because this person's moving slow. But see, now this is an energy where you've experienced this. See what you've experienced, applying these lessons, or you're about to make some kind of a decision. Yeah, it looks like a life path choice decision here. Let's have a look at the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, see, timeout. Yeah, there's been a timeout or just a break from dating. Who is this Knight of Pentacles? Yeah, It has to do with whether someone's reliable. See, this is often a person who isn't reliable. They move kind of slow, where you're always sitting on the fence. And that's what I feel. To me, it looks like there's a reassessment. Some of you definitely have someone where you've compromised in every way that you can. You've bent over backwards to please this person. And now I feel like you're going to make a decision. I feel like you're going to just take a little break here. Yeah. Taking a little nap. Time for a little rest. But this is definitely someone who hasn't pulled their weight. You can't rely on someone here. And that's where I feel the decision is. So this is what's transforming. It's all about choosing a whole new path, finding someone more compatible, somebody else who cooperates and compromises. So I feel like you're looking before you leap. Yeah, see, you're letting other people know you're open, or this is what it's telling you. Crossroads. See, letting other people know that you're open. You want someone you can depend on or rely on. I feel like you got someone who's not reliable. And that's what I feel. So you're going to apply these lessons. But this is a energy where you may have somebody who's coming in. Now, this is about being discerning too. If there is another person coming in to ask you out, you know, you're not going to be the one doing all the compromising. Yeah, I feel like a life path decision. It does look like you have another person coming in. Tell me about the Fool. Yeah, so this is about not rushing in, taking things a little slow, looking at a situation. Somebody who rushes in. Yeah, so, and I feel this is somebody coming in fairly quickly here. But it's an energy, there is an energy of 3. So I do feel like you're just doing a lot of thinking. But it's about looking before you leap, not rushing into a situation. The Knight of Wands is enthusiastic, somebody who comes in very often fast and fiery. See, we have Aries, Sagittarius, maybe some Scorpio energy, but it's about looking before you leap, not rushing in. This is where you're discerning, see, making sure that whoever this is compatible. They want to spend time with you. They want to do things with you. Anybody who doesn't want to spend time with you and doesn't want to be with you and drag your feet, you can't rely on. This is why I feel it's telling you to let people know that you're open. I feel like you're kind of throwing your hands up in the air. Just like the image here, it certainly depicts the energy. Yeah, there's definitely someone who's not reliable. Someone you can't depend on. You have to look at the bigger picture. You have to look into the future. If you can't rely on someone when things start to spend time or they never want to do anything with you, then you have to see that you may not be able to rely on this person in the future to be there when you need them. Yeah, so this is all about that energy. It's all about this forward thinking, but I really feel you're making a decision here. Yeah, you're taking back your power, putting on the brakes. There is a person here I do feel coming in, someone who's enthusiastic, but I do think you're going to really look before you leap, because I do see that some Sag energy here, somebody coming forward. Very enthusiastic, yeah, and then you've got someone who keeps you hanging. So it looks like you've got some sort of choice. It's all about compatibility. Someone keeping you hanging. See, you can't rely on anyone who keeps you hanging. Everything's always up in the air, and this is the thing. So I do feel that's kind of where you're at too right now. You know, kind of up in the air about this decision. But I feel like you're going to really do some thinking and a little pinned down by your thoughts. I feel like you have a person who doesn't want to be pinned down to this is the thing. They don't want to cooperate and compromise. They want you to. Yeah, it's this person who often has an excuse or they have a story. So you know, this is where I feel like you're learning and you know you can't count on this person. So I feel like you're going to take back your power and move in another direction. But there is another person I feel coming in. Somebody who wants to go on a date. They want to spend time. They want to be with you. But you're going to be discerning about this. Stay in your power. Okay? Stay in control of your emotions. Yeah, I feel like it's like you're, you know, it's like when you sit there, wait for someone and they're dragging their feet, you start to kind of grow cold, and that's what I feel. So you're staying in control of your emotions. You're taking back your power. I see a timeout. I don't feel like you're going to reciprocate to this person. In fact, I feel like you're going to, it almost feels like you're just going to ignore them. You know, you're not going to do anything. You're not reciprocating. Yeah, you have another person going to reach out. See, there is someone who wants to ask you out, I feel, coming towards you. I feel like you're open to this. But I do think you're on the fence a little bit about, you know, just looking at the things you have in common, spending time. It's an energy. Anyone who doesn't want to spend time with you doesn't really want to get to know you. This is what you need to see here. And I do think you're learning this. I do think that your emotions were kind of in control at some point, but not anymore. Yeah, you're in your power, but you have a person who's really enthusiastic coming in to communicate. But the whole point is that whether this person is someone who's going to stick around, because we know the Knight of Wands is someone really enthusiastic. They come in really fast. They just go for it. They're ready to take a risk, but you have to look at the risks. Yeah, it's about making choices here. But yeah, you've got somebody coming in wanting to ask you out here. Yeah, somebody here, it's a crush, longing for love. And I do feel like you long for love here. Be very careful of this person who reaches out and tries to tempt you with, you know, it's a communication like I miss you, you know, and I do think that's what you're going to deal with, or you already have, you know, this missing. I feel you long for love. You want someone to spend time with, but I do think you have this person going to reach out, I miss you. Yeah, but you know you can't rely on them. They don't pull their weight. So someone probably with a lot of baggage, but I feel like this is going to be yourself and just let this go. Yeah, I feel like it's about letting other people know you're open and available. You're at that crossroads. You want love, but yeah, don't let this person toss those breadcrumbs. You see, tossing a hint, little breadcrumbs. That's coming from the page, but the other person is someone actually asking you out on a date. Yeah, you've got a choice. Let's have a look at the Queen of Cups here. You've got transformation. Yeah, so it's all about knowing your worth and value. Okay. And I feel like you know there's a situation here that doesn't serve you. See, it's a situation that doesn't turn out as expected, but this is also an energy. The star is still feeling like there's hope, which is good, and I'm glad if you're feeling like there's hope here. Okay, but I feel like you're going to release this because there's things bothering you about this person. It's weighing heavily on you because you know you can't rely on them, and if you can't rely on somebody when things start, that's all about the future. So you've got this choice, and I do feel like you're going to look at this in a way, and there's definitely been disappointment, things not turning out as expected, but I do think it's about what you expect. So you have to expect the best for yourself here. Expectations. Hold yourself in high regard. Yeah, I feel like you got another person here. It's a little bit of a crush, but you so long for love. I can see that. Yeah, I do think you're going to release this. It's time to put an end to a painful situation in your life. And I do think you're going to rise like the phoenix from the ashes here. Yeah, see, contemplating this life path, shining a light, kind of looking for clues and answers here. Yeah. I do think this is somebody who's going to try to reach out to tell you that they miss you, tell you a story, feel sorry for me, whatever the situation. Be careful because they are just breadcrumbs. It may not turn out the way you expect. So you have to expect the best for yourself. Know your worth. Hold yourself in high regard. But yeah, you definitely have it looks like you've got a new crush here. Yeah. Whoops. Yeah, see? This is where you become very bold, very confident. You're in your power. This is where you stand up for yourself. Talk to the hand. Yeah, but I do think it's about letting go of control. I think you're going to let go of control. Somebody who reaches out, and I do think this person here who asks you on a date, okay, over to them. They have to take the lead. They have to show you that they want to spend time with you and be there, because I feel like you're not into anyone who doesn't. If you can't rely on someone to make, because there's like no commitment. It's almost like you got someone who comes in very quickly. You may even have a couple people here with this coming in. There may even be 3. But whoever this person is that you were dating, who constantly makes up excuses, they want you to do all the compromising. That's, I feel, the main thing you're thinking about. Yeah, but this is about being bold, being confident over to you. They need to take the lead. They need to show you they're reliable. And if they're not, I feel it's going to be next. Yeah, Queen of Wands. This is about your power, okay? Staying in your power. I think you've got your power back here. Yep, you've got this, been there, done that. Talk to the hand. You have other opportunities coming in. Things moving very quickly. I feel like you're just out of here. Yeah, I feel like you've got, and this is why when you put yourself out there too and you let people know you're open, those offers come in here. There's definitely opportunity coming in. Yeah, so you want that best friends, you want that soulmate connection. So it's about making a new connection, but definitely I feel like you're kind of at that crossroads trying to decide. You do have a person coming in. They are determined to succeed. Strong mind, strong will, but it's also yourself. See, staying, not allowing your emotions to control you. You are now in control of your emotions and you're in control. This is why the Queen of Wands is here, taking back your power. Talk to the hand. Show me you're reliable, right? That I can count on you to make a plan. See, it's planning, preparing, yeah, and making sure someone is sincere. So I do feel like it's interesting because through all this transformation, I do think you're going to connect with someone. You're going to have a conversation before you take things to the next level. You're going to be speaking your mind. Yeah, so you have desire, a spark, attraction. There's somebody here finding you attractive, but this is also about choosing the right person and being more discerning. I feel this is that transformation you're going through by knowing your worth and your value. Self-respect. Anybody who respects you is going to make a plan. They're going to plan, prepare. They're going to show you they're stable and reliable. And that's what I feel like you've dealt with somebody who just isn't. Yeah, it's doing what's right for you, looking out for number one. Yeah, making sure someone is sincere. But if somebody here drags their feet and you can't rely on them, you never know when this person's going to come in. Lots of time in between. It'll be next. And I feel that's your new energy. That's your transformation. Yeah. See, this is someone leaving you, ghosting, ignoring, leaving you out in the cold. But what I feel is actually happening, it's where you're leaving this person out. This is somebody who neglects the other person. See all this lack and loneliness, you long for love. I think you're tired of being lonely. But I feel like the person you're going to connect with here, it's all about looking to see if someone's sincere. It's all about making a plan. It's all about knowing when you're going to see somebody next. And that's what I feel. Because if they don't tell you and they won't make a plan, I don't think you're going to let them in. Because this is about reviewing the past, the path that you've been on with a particular person, and this forward moving. Yeah. Yeah. See, now the Queen of Pentacles is showing up. And this is about knowing your worth and value, taking things slow. Yeah. I feel like you're losing interest in someone here. You know your worth. And I do feel this is an energy of that independence, where you really long for love. You want somebody, but you don't need this. And that's what it is. It's all about that lack and lonely. Yeah, somebody who ghosts you, ignores you, leave you out in the cold. But what's going to happen is it's going to be this, what this person's going to go through. You're not reciprocating because you're looking at all the details, the situation. There's someone here you just can't see a future with. And that's the Queen of Pentacles, sits down and grounds themselves and looks at the situation. I feel like you've been at a crossroads sitting on the fence with someone that never goes anywhere. See, it just never goes anywhere. As soon as you take back your power, this person ghosts, ignores. It's just lack. Like I feel that's what you see as lack. You're leaving this lack behind. But it's about letting someone else in. And I feel like you're going to be far more discerning than ever before here. But it's about no longer seeing a future with someone. Now you've got a crush here. You so long for love, like that friendship. See, company, companionship. And I do think it's going to be friends first. And I do think that's what you're going to do. That's how you take back your power. This is how you're going to know if someone's sincere. You're not going to take it to the next level until they show you they're reliable. Very, very wise energy. You're being cautious. You're playing it safe. But it's about getting your cup filled. Yeah, you're looking before you leap with this other person. And this is good because now you've experienced this. You're going to apply the energy, the things you've learned to this situation. You're putting up boundaries, I feel here. They show you they're reliable, they're stable, they want to be friends first. That's how you're going to know they're sincere. Wow, you are in your power. Yeah, you've got a whole new romantic cycle starting, but you are getting off an emotional roller coaster. You're pushing the stop button, get me off this ride, and sitting on that fence till the right person comes in, the one. You want somebody who sees you as the one, where they want to be with you. And that's the problem. Anybody who makes up excuses every time you want to be with them, even if you're lonely, see, they're leaving you in that situation. You've been at this crossroads in this energy. Someone who only comes around, long time in between. There's always this break. See, some of you, I feel like you're on another break from this person, but I feel this is much more than a break. Because I feel like you're not going to reciprocate. You have other people going to reach out here. Yeah, someone else who longs for love, someone else who maybe has been in this situation. But this is getting yourself out there. See, good news, there's opportunity coming in. It's about taking these opportunities that are being presented. So there's good news. And I do feel it's really important to get out and socialize, because this is about going after what you want. This is about now knowing what you don't want. And I feel like you've got this. Wow, Gemini. You are in your power. You are the one in control, because it's your life. This is your path and your life. So you have to make that decision. It's going to take a lot of strength, but I do think you're standing up to someone here. Yeah, talk to the hand. I feel like you're losing interest in someone because you know with this lessons that they're not interested enough. You can't rely on them. Yeah, you're in protective mode. You're not going to budge and give in to someone. You're protecting your heart too. Yeah. I feel like you're not going to give in to this person. Anyone new who comes in, I feel they're going to be, they have to show you they're sincere. I feel you're going to have a few dates with someone here, but it's also anyone who introduces it to their friends or family. If somebody puts on the brakes every time it comes time to go out, or introduce you to friends and family, this is where you know it's not going anywhere. Yeah, it's just not going anywhere. There you are. Time's up. Tick-tock. Looking elsewhere. This is where you are. This is very empowering for you, okay? Because this is about looking elsewhere, but it's also an energy of expanding your horizons, going to different places, connecting with different people. Yeah. I'm liking your power. Yeah, making sure things are fair. You're claiming this is about harmony and being fair. Someone here hasn't been fair. They haven't been treating you right. In fact, it's actually disrespectful. You've been disrespected. Somebody is not seeing how you feel. It's a person who's all about themselves, so now you are in that energy where you're doing what's right for you. Yeah, someone who's just not right, but you're looking for the one. And I do think you're going to connect someone, because now you have this power, you have this control. And I really feel you're not ruled by your emotions. Yeah, you've got a person coming in, someone here who's just right, or it's the other way around. It could be either way, but it's a person who makes a move when they already know what they want. Okay? Yeah, someone who already knows. It's a person taking the lead. See, they have to take the lead. You're not going to be chasing after anyone. In fact, you're going to stay grounded. You're going to focus on work, other things in your life. So I feel like you've become uncomfortable with someone. Now it's going to take time for you to get comfortable with this other person. So they have to show you they're sincere by being there, by communicating, by reciprocating. If you find this person's not reciprocating, or they're ghosting you, or if you do reach out, there's a little test too, reaching out to see if they even reciprocate. If they don't, then you know, next. You've got this. It's all about not wasting time. Someone here has been wasting your time. But I do think you have a person here who already knows what they want. Yeah, very charming, this person. This is somebody feeling enthusiastic. It is someone who's been crushing. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's someone here that you've been holding a torch on that you may be thinking about here too. But I feel like you're going to keep your boundaries up. So take care. This is your choice here. We have the King and Queen of Wands, which means two people here who are both in their own power. But really watch how things go. Make sure whoever this is sincere. They're willing to cooperate and compromise. It has to be fair for both people or you're out of here. Bye for now.